Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Leaf Rants. The Leafs win Game 1 of the season, 5-2 against the Montreal Canadiens, in a game that started off really good, and then it went a little, and then it turned into a pretty strong Leafs win. And that's what you love to see. Now, the Leafs going into this game without Scott Laughton in the lineup. Nick Robertson's in, Calle Jarnkrok is in, David Kampf, not in. Max Domi is a center. Michelli moved up to that first line. It was an interesting lineup, to say the least. But the Leafs get it done. Now, first period. Let's start breaking down this game. McMahon opens the scoring a minute in off a deflection, off a Nylander shot. Really good pressure built up by the Leafs. And it was good to see the D-men jumping up, especially Morgan Rielly in the opening minute. They get some shots, and they cash in 1-0 Leafs. Now, what I did notice, especially in the first, was Simone Benoit on the right side because they wanted to put OBL on the left. I don't know how comfortable. He didn't look very comfortable with the puck. That was my biggest concern for Simone Benoit playing on the right. He just looked like when he had it, he wanted to give it away. He didn't want to have it. And you could tell. It takes adjustment playing on that right side. So it's going to take a bit of time. He missed a lot of the preseason due to injury. So it's completely expected. But it's nice to see that he's getting back. He can hopefully take on that right D job and solidify, but just didn't look the most comfortable in that opening period, to say the least. Game was, but especially that open period, I really noticed it. And Nick Robertson, he has a shot on him. Oh my God. He had a nice shot in the first period that I noticed. He just ripped the thing. Didn't go in, but it was just, you need to see more of that from Nick Robertson, especially if he's going to be in this lineup and he's going to be fighting for a position, knowing Easton Cowan is a guy that Craig Berube was very impressed with camp, just didn't make the opening day roster. Then the Leafs get a power play. Kapanen, who I thought was Kasperi, it's not. It's his cousin. Snipes the thing blocker side just under the bar and beats Stolarz cleanly. It's 1-1, shorthanded. I guess Mitch Marner wasn't the problem on the power play, eh? No, seriously, though, the bad effort on that power play was super rusty tonight. Didn't like any of that. And then around, I forget when it was, closer to the end of the period, Stolarz had to make a big save in front of the net off a brutal Leafs turnover and just absolutely no net front coverage from them. That is really concerning. I think they'll get over it. I really like the D they have, but that's not something you love to see. You need to help your goalie out as much as possible. You have to help your team out as much as possible, and they weren't doing that in front of their own net. But that's it for the first. It's 1-1. Montreal has a shot advantage, but overall not that big of a difference. They let the game go a little bit, but it's okay. Then second period, a minute 30 in, Zach Bolduc makes it 2-1 off a rebound. No net coverage, no one there. Clean goal. Can't put that one on Stolarz. 2-1, move on. About 4 minutes later, Calle Jarnkrok from Morgan Rielly ties it up, and it's 2-2, just like that. That was about it for the second period until the third, where 9 minutes in, Morgan Rielly puts the Leafs up by 1, and that is what you love to see from him. You love to see Morgan Rielly jumping up. I thought he had an amazing game. I thought he played terrific. Best Leaf on the ice. Jumps up, gets the go-ahead goal. Clutch. Absolutely clutch. Then Austin Matthews gets the empty netter with a minute and a half left. Chased that thing down off a feed from Willie. And then a minute later, William Nylander gets an empty net goal. 15 seconds left. 5-2 Leafs. That's all the goals. But I thought it was a good game from the Leafs. One game in, William Nylander, 2 assists, 1 goal, and 18:40 time on ice. Is it unrealistic to think that William Nylander could hit 100 points this season? Mitch Marner's gone, so I saw Nylander was getting a couple shifts up there with Austin Matthews and Matthew Nyes. I almost said Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. But no, he's been playing up there, a couple shifts here and there with them. And I like it. Willie's a good guy. He plays good with Matthews. I wasn't upset about that at all. Leafs 0 for 2 on the power play. It was rusty, but hey, at least the penalty kill was good. Killed off both penalties that they took. And so the lines this season for the season opener was Nyes, Matthews, Michelli, which last season was Nyes Matthews-Marner. So different guy in there. Second line this season, McMahon, Tavares, Nylander. Last season was Domi, Tavares, Nylander. We knew that didn't work. They need a forechecking guy. I like McMahon there. I thought McMahon had a really good game too. He had the hustle. He forechecked hard. I thought he played a really good game. Third line this year, Joshua Domi Robertson. Last year, Pacioretty, Holmberg, Robertson. Yeah. Holmberg was the third line center. And then this season's fourth line, Lorentz, Yarncroke. Last season was Lorentz, Camp Reeves. And then D pairings this year, McCabe, Tanev, obviously. Last season was Riley Tanev to start because we all thought Chris Tanev was going to be the perfect D partner for Morgan Riley until he excelled with Jake McCabe. This season's second line is Riley Carlo. Last season was Ekman Larson and McCabe. This season's third pairing is Benoit Ekman Larson. Last season, Benoit Timmins. Now Timmins did have a really good camp and he looked really good, but it was Connor Timmins. He always looked good in camp. And then Stolarz was the starter last year with Hildeby as backup. Same thing this year, but they had Primo as the backup. And the scratches last season were McMahon, Liljegren, and Myers. This season was Blaise, Cowan, and Myers. So I expect Easton Cowan to get into probably a couple games this season, but I'm not sure when that would be. With injuries, 100% he'll get in there. But I really do think they're waiting for Scott Laughton to get back to have that Lorentz, Laughton, Cowan line just to see how he does there. Because the Leafs' third and fourth line, it's not like a third and fourth line. It's like bottom six. You have your first line, second line, and then bottom six. I don't think playing on the fourth line for the Leafs is as much as a demotion from playing on the third line. I don't think there's really too much there. So I don't see the big deal of Cowan playing on the fourth line. Maybe because you don't want him to play 12 minutes a night. Maybe less, you'd rather him play 20 minutes with the Marlies. The Leafs will do whatever they feel is right for his development. And if they believe he's ready, then I believe in what they see. And I'd be willing to give him a shot. Completely up to them. But I think their development team, from everything that they've been through, all the money that MLSE has, that the Toronto Maple Leafs have, I don't see why they'd be willing to rush his development in any way. And I don't think that if he's ready, I don't think they'd want to not put him in and really test him right now. Austin Matthews again, putting stuff on the dot where him and Mitch used to be. He put an X there today, and it seems like he did that all preseason. He'd put stuff there. Another thing is, a healthy Calle Yarncroke is a perfectly fine fourth-line winger. I don't see why everyone's so hard on him. He makes $2.1 million. He'll cash in 10 to 15 goals. He'll play penalty-killing minutes. Money's not really a problem for you right now. I don't see what the big rush to move him is. I like Calle Yarncroke. I do. I think he's a Swiss Army knife, for sure. Can put him in a lot of situations. But is that necessarily a bad thing to have on your bottom six? I don't think so. Like, are you counting on Calle Yarncroke to go out there and get you 25 goals a season? No. You're probably wanting that bottom six guy to get 10 to 15 goals, which Calle Yarncroke does. Maybe play some penalty, kill some penalties, which he does. Maybe here and there take a little shift in the top six, which he does. He plays both wings. He plays in the middle. And there's been times where he's had to play defense. Now, usually that was Mitch doing that. But Calle Yarncroke was a very dependable guy as a defensive forward. I don't mind having him at all, especially for that $2.1 million cap hit. I think that's completely fine. But what are the takeaways from this game? The offseason was way too long. Power play was rusty. So were the refs. A couple really bad calls. Whatever. There was like no at all in that entire third period from the goal on. It was insane. And then, yeah, McMahon was really good. Riley was amazing. Like, actually amazing. I think those talks did something to him. I think Morgan Riley's ready to take another step this season. I think he's ready to be that guy again. And that's what the Leafs need. The Leafs lack a true number one defenseman. So you need Morgan Riley to try to get back to his form as much as possible. And he's beef. He's a beefy guy. He's a big guy. You wouldn't think of it because when you think of Morgan Riley, you don't think of a guy using his body. He is big. He is a beefy guy. It's played slow tonight. And the forward chemistry, it's going to take some time. I think it will all click eventually, but yeah, it's going to take some time. There's a lot of new guys in here. You'll a big piece of this team that Matthews, Nylander have played with their entire career. Nice. He's played with Marner's entire career so far. Hasn't been very long, but yeah. So Stars didn't shine tonight. I thought Nylander was pretty good, but yet again, just cashing in on like the nets there. Yarncroke, he played for his job. He really did. And I thought he played impressive. I thought he was perfectly fine. Some low event hockey and a solid Leafs win, and that's about all you can ask for. It's game one of 82. There's a lot of games here. This isn't the finished product. This is October. Game one. The Leafs win. Let's feel good about it. We don't play again until Saturday. The Jays won tonight. They closed out their series. They're going on to their conference finals. Like, that's insane. So this is a win for Leafs hockey, for Toronto sports. Let's just embrace it. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please click like. If you really liked it, subscribe always makes me feel pretty good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you on Saturday for another Leafs dub.